Welcome back to that handicapping show at bloodhorse.com. I'm Tom LaMarra, joined by Claire Novak. And that handicapping show is sponsored by racingtoday.com, a new advanced deposit wagering service. You can find it at racing2day.com. So 1 week before the Breeders' Cup, and kind of a quiet racing weekend, I would say, but closing day at Keeneland on Saturday, and we'll be looking at the Grade 2 Fayette Stakes at 1 1/8 on the poly track. Attracted a field of 9. It's a pretty competitive race. Lots of horses with turf form, but actually most of them have pretty good all-weather surface form too. A few speed horses, a lot of horses that like to come from mid-pack and out of it. I think the weather's supposed to be dry, but a little bit on the chilly side. So I would expect a dry all-weather surface.
It's going to be fast. Imagine that.
Yes, it's always fast no matter how wet it gets. Claire, you said that you struggled a little bit in handicapping this race, but I'm sure that you at least have one horse that you like. So.
Well, you and I both agreed that it's a little tough to figure out the pace scenario in here, and there are some horses that have shown good speed that maybe haven't necessarily been on the lead in the past that might end up being up on the front end. I think you have to take a look at a horse like Wilcox Inn, who's coming in off a good third in the Shadwell Turf Mile, the turf edition, won by the Max horse, Silver Max, I knew that. And Wise Dan came in second. So Wilcox Inn won or placed in 5 of his past 7 starts, all in graded stakes. So he does merit a good look in there. And then a couple others just on class that I was taking a look at. Finnegan's Wake coming out of the Bowling Green handicap where he was second to Hyper. This is a horse that Dale Romans has been running in big time races, you know, the Arlington Million, etc. And so he definitely has the class, I think, to handle a grade 2. Again, you mentioned that turf form. And then the horse that I'm just a huge fan of, and I'm going to pick, in spite of Charlie Lepresti's 0 for 13 record at Keeneland that you pointed out, and we're going to go for Valandry to get Charlie off the duck. I have loved this horse since day one. I loved him back when he started running at Keeneland. He really likes the surface here. Came back off the layup. He had gotten hurt, and he was off from about November until October 4th. Came back with a good third, and I'm just going to go with Valandry to win.
You know, Valandry has a victory at Keeneland at 1 1/8 miles on the poly track last October. It was pretty impressive off the pace. You're right, his return race was good. He came from off the pace, closed well at 7 furlongs on the all-weather at Keeneland, or excuse me, on the poly track at Keeneland. So he drew the inside post, and quite frankly, at 1 1/8, that should be fine because he can grab whatever position he wants. A few other horses in here that really like the all-weather. Winning Cause, last race in the Phoenix at Keeneland.
Not so good in that
Well,
race.
he broke toward the back, and quite frankly, I think only 1 or 2 horses really closed well in that race. It was won wire to wire by some of the parts. Winning Cause had no shot. And that being said, though, he's also a 2-turn type horse, and he does like all weather. He's won at Keeneland. I think he's got a shot.
Now, he's a 3-year-old, and the last 3-year-old to win this race was Blame in 2009. Right. Only 11 have done it since 59.
Well, thank you for looking that up.
You're welcome. Actually, Frank Akes did.
Good.
Go read his preview.
Okay, all right. Wilcox Inn, he's a good all-weather horse. He's an absolutely classy horse, he figures. And I'm going to also use Leah, who has not run on the all-weather but has won at 1 1/8 on the turf. Comes out of the 7-furlong forego on the dirt at Saratoga. Closed pretty well. You know, they tried him in a sprint. It was a sloppy track that day. He ran okay, stretches back out, and he's been working pretty well at Keeneland. So
this is the horse that ran second in the Firecracker, and
That's
my
correct.
dad was screaming, "Get up, Lee! Get up, Lee!" And I was like, "How do you cheer against Wise Dan?"
Well, he did, right? Actually, I'll probably make Lee my top pick here on top of Wilcox Inn and Winning Cause. So
I think that sounds like a good choice.
that is the 1 1/8 Fayette, and when we see you next time, next week, we'll be talking about the Breeders' Cup World Championships.
Live from Santa Anita. Well, not live, but from Santa Anita.
The show will be shot from Santa Anita
right.
Park, and it looks like the weather's going to be decent. So we
A
hope.
lot better
We
than
hope.
here.
So we thank our sponsor, RacingToday.com, and we thank Brisnet.com for the past performances. For Claire, I'm Tom. We'll see you next time on That Handicapping Show.